Hello everybody, this is Havoc, and welcome back to Mytholandria in Planet Coaster 2. I hope you're doing great. Thank you so much for understanding. If you didn't know, head over to the community tab where basically I explained that I wasn't going to get an episode out because a lot of things just went down wrong. My PC freaked out halfway through the episode, which caused a big disturbance. The pathing issues between the poles and the slides in Planet Coaster 2 are quite frankly extremely frustrating. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that as much today. We'll definitely see and keep our fingers crossed, but I do have a fantastic build ready and willing to get built today. So first and foremost, if you want to support the channel to continue the series going, just like you guys have been doing this entire time, which I am incredibly thankful for, you can give the video a like, you can subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments in the comment section. Speaking of comments in the comments section, I have created a Google Sheet full of builds that you guys want me to put in, whether they're Greek or Viking, Roman, or not Roman, Viking Norse themed, whether I've implemented them into the park, etc., etc. The user that said it, so that way I can give full credit when that happens. So know that I'm going to start working on those as we continue. Now, there have been a few updates to the park that I want to go over very briefly. For one, we've added a handful of other guest services, staff buildings, because we didn't have enough places for staff to go and they were getting too weary going into here. Now, that being said, we will 100% go into staff scheduling in one video. I will go over it because, for instance, we do have some staff zones laid out. This is kind of the beginning of what I wanted to address. So we're definitely going to have that. I'm going to go over it because I know that's an important part for several of you who are very beginning in Planet Coaster 2. So I wanted to say that that is going to happen. It'll happen probably shortly in the next couple episodes at least, if not the next episode. Next up, I have expanded some pathways, just real simple stuff. I need to clean that up, just to allow some better access and some cooler scenarios. For instance, here, we could definitely have this nice little balcony where people could look over, see the waterfalls, see the people playing around in them. And then I added just some railing across the board in this section just to give it a little bit of a safer value. Also, I did fix the pillar. Oh, I didn't fix the pillar over here. It must not have saved. Let's do that real quick. And then also, speaking of over here, I have added a couple of lifeguards. We've added a couple scenarios to kind of split some scenarios. I've colored some chairs, added some cover over here. That way it makes it a little better. I also made this the natural pathway with the white tile, so that way it gives it a little more of a natural beach look, which is something someone recommended, and I actually didn't write that down because technically it wasn't a build scenario, it was something different. But all that to say, the park is looking great, and yes, also I did add a bathroom over here, so everywhere has good coverage. But one of the things we need to do today is finish the Norse/Viking side with one more dedicated episode. So what we're going to do today is we are going to work on a few flumes. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go in and just make this right here and do anything, but I will do something similar. The rides will look very similar. The layout will be relatively the same, but I want to take a spot over here. We're going to have our entrance be right up here, and we're going to have a very cool cascading effect. But not only that, what we are going to do is we are going to basically make it like you're going through a waterfall in kind of a cave scenario out into some dense, what is it called? Not tundra. I completely lost my mind. Taiga? Yes, taiga. There you go. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to build our flume here. One of the things that I did notice that I haven't really done with all of the rides yet is I don't have names for them. So I need a name for the upswing over here. I need a name for the cube over here. I need a name for the body flume. I think I already named that Poseidon's Bath, so that's good. And then we're eventually going to need a name for our flumes over here. So get ready for this. This one's going to be really exciting. But before we even begin, I do want to, before I do my time lapse, because one of the frustrations with this last one, with the last episode I recorded, was that the time lapse didn't really give you guys a lot of context, and it took the entire episode. So I don't want to do that. I really, really don't want to do that because, again, it's not super fair to you guys. But what we are going to do, and this is another thing that I need help with, actually. What we're going to see here is I'm going to build a pool at the bottom part of this, and I need people to not go inside of it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have my flumes here, and they're all going to go out each into their own little pool area. But I don't want people going. If there's a way to do it, let me know, but there may not be. And if that is the case, then that's very unfortunate, but all right, nonetheless. So what we're going to do, we are going to build out here. I'm going to kind of push this land up just a little bit so we get a good size. That's a really, really awkward size. I'm probably not even going to need that right there. We're going to go with this right here, and we'll work on that from there. This is going to be a very skinny slide, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it whatsoever. And we're going to begin with a custom slide, and we are going to go wide slides. Yes, we're going to go wide slide, and we are going to build relatively low to the ground. And the reason why we're going to build low is because I am going to cover it. I don't think I need more than one over here in this area. And then what we are going to do, I'm wondering if I can't split. This is where things get a little bit difficult. Let's go ahead and do that right there. That's fine. And this is one of the kind of frustrating things. I wish we could just simply change, but it's not a simple chain. I have to go create a custom, go inside here, and do the same thing over and over again. Cool. Okay, so we have our 3 flumes, our 3 body slides, and this is where things are going to get interesting because I need to place my entrance, and it's going to automatically dig down. Now, I know some people have said holding like control will let you place your own thing. I've yet to see where that actually happens. I tried messing around with it, and that was another one of my frustrations. So instead, we are going to go ahead and be okay with knocking this down. Are we limited by a boulder here? I do think we are. I'm going to have to go in and redo all of this anyways. What we need is an entrance. And again, I'm okay with what's going on here. So don't feel like I'm upset. I've wrestled with it. And we're going to get our cobblestone path. And I don't want to go down too steadily, or too quickly, rather. There we go. That's actually perfect. Very nice. And so then it's just a matter of, we'll probably actually have to delete this one, or we can relocate it. I prefer relocation. There we go. And then we might be able to knock this dude down. There we are. Very cool. All right, so our plan here is we are going to build up here. We're going to build this all up. We're going to have a... And again, I know people are really starting to get not happy with me, but I am going to end up using these blueprints all the time. I get that it's frustrating, but it's what I do to enjoy my time with the game. And if that's what it takes, then that's what I'm going to do. And I think they have a cool... That would actually be really fun, but I think the Viking Hall is more of what we're trying to look to do. The real question is, will it let me build on it? I don't think it will. Let's see if I can't do some quick customization to really get this to work like I want it to. Let me make sure it's all centered up well. Okay, cool. We're going to do a little bit of customizing real quick. Okay, well, that's a good start. I actually really enjoy this. This is a great build up. It's great to see that up there. All of this came together nicely. We could add a few more things over here. Probably like some, I wouldn't say trees, but definitely some scenery, because the scenery is really, really good. We need some bushes and things of that nature. We don't need the light anymore. Just adding some good details here. Just so when people come out, they actually do see that it's full of really good stuff. Could use a couple of small trees, but there's so much dents and lights everywhere. I really don't want to you know, in theory, catch something on fire. That's not what I'm about. Not what I'm about at all. There we go. Okay, so now the next step is that we need to build our cascading stuff down here. Odds are it's actually going to go to probably, may go a little bit deeper. So what I'm actually going to do is we're just going to take all of this out. Just for now, we'll push everything out here and that'll work just fine. But then I'm going to have like a waterfall coming down here, a little pond area, and then we're going to end up being all the way down here. So I know I've done a lot of building with not a lot of talking. We're going to have a few more of those episodes, and those will be sprinkled throughout. What I really want to do is make sure that we get some good, solid building in, so I can make sure this stuff gets complete before we even open up and before the end of the episode, because again, I'm always worried about time, always going to have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and get started with our flumes. Really excited to see how these turn out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, look at this. I'm unbelievably excited. Let's go ahead and open up all the body slides. By the way, and this is a matte slide, I guess. If you guys want to name these, let me know in the comments section below, because I think that'd be really, really fun to have people name them. But, oh man, I gotta fix this just a little bit. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I'm actually really, really excited for this. I want to go down the map flume. I wish I could. I guess we'll have to wait for people to go. But basically what I'm going to do in the aftermath of the episode, because I don't want to waste all the time, is every single one of these is going to be just like what we did over here with the pool. And I'm basically going to take some of the Viking pillars and I'm going to cover up every single one of the pillars here. So that way the next time that you see this, you're going to see a much different scene. But oh my word, I absolutely love it. I love the entrance here. I love the different scenarios and where we go down the mud, or the mat slide rather, how it goes over, and then our 3 different ones go into the waiting area. But as I mentioned here, I don't know how to prevent people from coming here. I mean, I guess they could. They would just have to watch out. But I really, really enjoy this. I don't have a name for this whole place. And one of the things I mentioned I start doing is labeling everything. So we'll definitely label everything that we can once we get there. Once we get to that point where we can. And I'm just going to do this real quick. No, I'll figure out what to do here. Whether it's adding some custom archways and stuff like that. Whatever it takes to make that work and make it go well. I wish I could speak. Speaking is terribly difficult. But no, I am actually really, really proud of this. I love the idea of the spring, or the water overflowing, coming down into here and basically overlapping into the pool. Even though we can clearly tell it doesn't. But I still think it'd be really fun to just imagine and have fun with life, because life is too short to be worrying about how things actually should be. Yep, I can't make that work. That's okay. I'm going to leave it there and not worry about it. But this is exactly what I was going for in the last episode, but actually not as good. So I'm glad I actually had to start over, because I think it works out even better now. Now, admittedly, these don't have the greatest. The Body Slide 2 has the best excitement. The fear factor is a little bit intense. I don't know what's good and what's not. Like, I don't know if the green means that nausea level is good or if it's not. So we'll have to see as time goes on. Oh my word, but I do love this. And I love how it turned out, and I love how it looks as well as you go into the park. If we go into the sight unseen mode, it's just a really cool thing to be coming around and be like, what in the world is that? I want to go on it. And so it gives you options. You can go into the peaceful waiting pool, or you can go into our big giant area over here, which again is going to get filled out in between episodes 100%. So what is going to be the future of the park? So essentially what I'm going to do, I think in the next episode, we are going to work on staff scheduling. Apologies, had to answer a phone call, so I lost track of my thought training. But basically, we're going to do some staff scheduling things. We're going to spend a little bit of time on that. And then we're going to make another water-based thing. Now, I know we're focusing a lot on the water side, and that's intentional because, well, that's the most unique part of this game right now, is that we can have a lot of water slides. It's Planet Coaster 2. Now, beyond that, we will start working on some actual roller coasters, don't worry. But basically here, what I want to do is almost in a form not unlike what we have here, but I want to do a Dueling of the Gods water slide. So that way we see both forms over here vying for control over some really cool things. It's going to be a pretty daggum tall one, I will say that, because I want to be able to have a lot of fun with it and have a lot of room for expansion. And then what we're going to do is we are going to incorporate at least one lazy river, perhaps around here, doing some really cool things. A blend of a couple of ideas. One of them was doing like the underworld, like the river Styx. So we may do a river Styx, and then on the lazy river side, on the other side, we may do like a Valhalla, where this is going to be super dark and eerie, luminescent, that kind of stuff, potentially completely underground to an extent. And then over here is just like bright and engaging and just really like that Viking feel, just to kind of have a fun dual side of the lazy river that I think people would really, really enjoy. But again, we do need names for all these guys, and I do wish people would come up to this. I'm wondering if we don't lower the price real quick. What is the price? Let's go ahead and go down to $1.40. That's $1.20. We'll do 70 cents. Why not? Just for the time being, and then I'll forget, and then we'll just be okay. We're doing perfectly fine money-wise, by the way. Like, our profit versus our cost breakdown is stupidly low. Like, it's redonkulous, actually. And so, basically, that's where we're going to end the episode today. I am very pleased. I'm glad I started over, as I mentioned, because it just wasn't working. It just wasn't. That whole episode got me flustered. Still had a little bit of flustered here, but I knew what I was doing since I had the other issue all said and done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so incredibly much, as always, for interacting and sticking with the series. We're only on episode 6. I have a feeling this is going to go a very, very long ways, and I'm all here for it. I'm very excited, and I hope you guys are too. If you want to support the channel, as always, one of the best ways you can do that is simply by giving the video a like. That's one of the basic ways. If you enjoyed it all, give it a like, because the YouTube algorithm likes that. But if you want to go further, subscribing to the channel works, as always. But also comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the slides, the updates, things you would like to see, things you would like to see improve. I can't lengthen the extent of the videos. I just can't do those. I am limited to an hour and 10 minutes per episode. There's just no going around that. But lots of things can happen in that time. And I'm also considering working on some custom builds on my own and just record those as shorts. That way it's not taking up what I consider quality useful time here in the park, and instead it kind of have its own dedicated content that you can choose to watch or choose not to watch. So potentially be on the lookout for those as I work on expanding some ideas to cater to those people who want to see custom builds, but I don't want to do them inside of these episodes. But again, thank you once more for all your support. It's unbelievable. This is Havoc, and I'll see you all in the next episode.